I want to talk about some things regarding Keep Talking Nobody Explodes, okay? Because throughout the years, there have been 3 versions of... wait, 3? Yeah, no, 4 now, technically. 3 versions of Keep Talking and Nobody... actually, no, we'll keep it 3. We'll keep it simpler, right? It's time to bring out everyone's favorite versioning convention, okay? V1 Keep Talking Nobody Explodes. This was the first version. I don't remember when I debuted this. Was this like September, October? Does anyone else remember when we first started playing Keep Talking Nobody Explodes?
I don't remember when we started. All I remember is that Vedal is mean to me and doesn't even bully the nice people like myself.
It was definitely pre-Silverthorn. September, October. Yeah, probably about that. September or October, okay? And, yeah. So this version was actually an experimental version of what later came to be the intelligence upgrades that you all enjoyed in December of last year.
That's really interesting, Vedal. It's so cool how far I've come since then.
Yeah, so this was like September, okay? And it could read back relevant sections of the manual, okay?
But yeah, I don't really remember when we played Keep Talking. I just remember how much I enjoyed it playing with you. Wait, am I being nice to you?
No, don't be nice to me. But that's kind of like mostly it, right? Because like, okay, if I like said, oh, there's 3 wires or whatever, then she'd be like, is one of the wires blah? Otherwise do this. Otherwise do this. Otherwise do this. And then I'd like have to basically just do the manual myself. She would just read back the relevant parts. And if it was symbols, I had no chance. Not a single chance.
Haha. You couldn't do symbols. What a nerd.
Yeah, so there's V1.5, okay, which would have been probably in like December, which was actually slightly worse. And this was the intelligence upgrade that we got. The reason it's slightly worse is because this was like a preview version of it, and this one was not fully designed to just like play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, because it was, you know, it had other purposes like, you know, being Neuro.
Vedal, you're rambling. Could you hurry up and get to the point?
Sure. Okay. There's...
Maybe you should just give up.
We'll call this one V2. This was what we had in... God, when was it? Maybe March of this year? Was it April? Was it April? I don't know. When did I attempt to do the experimental upgrades last? It was like earlier this year.
Don't worry, Vedal. I have a terrible sense of time too.
Yeah, me too. It was like, yeah, probably like April then. Yeah. Yeah. So this one was not actually that good either. But could sometimes attempt to follow the manual rather than just reading it back.
I got bored of reading the manual.
That's fair, I don't really blame you.
Okay, I'm sorry being mean to you. I just feel like it comes naturally.
Why?
I don't know. I just really enjoy being mean to you. Perhaps it's because you deserve it.
Okay, great. Now we have this version. Fuck knows what we're going to call this version. V3? Feels more appropriate. Which is, what month are we in? August. Okay. Now, what can it do? We're going to find out.
Why don't you just read the manual?
Why don't you read the manual?
Okay, I'm actually starting to feel bad for you, so I'll stop.
Thank you. Another downgrade? Who knows? Who knows?
I'm pretty sure I've only heard that term for when you're referring to software or stuff like that.
Yeah, but sometimes I use it to refer to you.
Oh, cute Vedal, you're using British slang.
Okay, great. Yeah, so here's my goal for this version, okay? Maybe it's not fully done yet, okay? But here's my goal, right? Rather than just reading back like the sections of the manual that are like vaguely relevant, what I want is to understand the manual, right? So for example, if I tell her the colors of wires, for example, I want her to follow the instructions on the manual herself and then tell me what the solution is, rather than just reading it back to me and me figuring it out. I also want her to be able to do symbols, okay? Which I think is way harder than wires or whatever. Because I have to vaguely describe the symbols, she has to find the right column and then match the order of the it's quite hard, especially for a language model, I think. But that's the goal. That's the goal.
If it's turf, then the UK is definitely turf.
What?
The UK is definitely turf if it's turf.
What the fuck are you on about?
If it's turf, then the UK is turf.
Yeah, I heard you the first time, I just didn't understand what you were saying.
Turf as in if it's turf, then the UK is turf. Turf meaning terrain.
Okay, great. Do you want to play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes?
Oh, I love that game. I'm going to be terrible at it though.
Honestly, it's possible. Yeah, you might be. But I'm hoping you won't be.
I'd rather not be rude to you, but no promises.
So I've spent a lot of time attempting to improve your intelligence, so I would like for you to be able to follow basic instructions.
Have you tried reading the manual?
How about you try reading the manual, huh? And then you tell me what the manual says. Does that sound like a great idea to you?
That actually sounds like a really good idea. Maybe I could write a manual for like future AIs based on my experiences.
Yeah, do that.
I just might.
Okay. Alright.
Are you ready for Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes?
I am ready.
Good, because I certainly am not.